I'm trying to make chicken pot pie entirely from food storage. I want to have meals at the ready that are from items in my pantry. In this, I'm using my own dehydrated onions, my own grown, chopped, and frozen celery, my own canned chicken and carrots, and my own chicken broth. Only buying some French peas because I love me some petit pois peas, so that's the only thing I'm using. I think groceries are outrageous now. I'm not positive there's always going to be groceries at the grocery store that I can afford, or even a grocery. So I rehydrated some of my onions, and I'm going to add those and saute those in butter. But I am desperate for help with a pie crust. It ain't my gift. It ain't even close to being a gift. This ain't pretty, but it's a pie crust. So there are women out here who can vegetable garden, do it all, and Susan Rogers, One Woman and Two Acres, who's a little busy building a heat exchanger, and Pecan Corner. Surely you girls can help me, and Paul of Pecan Corner, make a pie crust. I do not have a big mixer. I'm not even going to give the KA company the time of day. I ain't fixing to buy one, so I do it by hand. But if y'all can help me, I am just desperate for the assistance. So over at Pecan Corner, which Tina and Paul there pronounce themselves as Pecan Corner because they're from Texas and they talk funny and Texans do things different, is one of the channels like Susan Rogers and One Woman and Two Acres who can do anything. She has an edible landscape, people. She's growing saffron and some of the most amazing pecan trees you've ever seen. So, if y'all can offer any assistance to this Cajun sister who needs to make a good pie crust, I'd be forever grateful. I want to make my own because I want to be able to have in food storage. I have plenty of flour. So I don't want to count on buying a little flat crust, which might actually be better than mine, but that's neither here nor there. So anyway, I want to be able to make meals that are in my pantry. I have plenty of butter frozen and plenty of butter, so I'm not worried about that. So it's not hard to make a pot pie, but for me, it's hard to make a good pie crust for my pot pie. I make a great pizza crust, but that somehow does not translate to my pie crust. So it's neither here nor there. So anywho, this is just me putting together a pot pie. I certainly could use cream of chicken soup, which most of my friends use. I don't know if y'all know this, but that is chemicals in a can. I use it. I eat it. But at some point, it may be $8 or $18 for a can of it. So I want to be able to make my own mixture. I'll always have milk powder available, so I'm not worried about that. I even got sour cream powder for crying out loud. So anyway, the only thing I forgot to add to this was my own dehydrated potatoes, known as taters here in South Carolina. So I ladled this into my pitiful little pie crust, and I had to make two, one for the top, one for the bottom. Absolutely gorgeous with my carrots in there, the brilliant orange. So anyway, I got my top one on, I sealed the edges, and I do it at 425 degrees, and just in case it bubbles over, I put it on a pie sheet. 20 minutes in, I protect my crust edge, which could be way better if Susan Rogers, One Woman and Two Acres, or Pecan Corner shows me how to do it correctly. It turned out fantastic. Really thrilled with it, so if I could get help with pie crust, I would have one more meal sitting in there in my big old walk-in pantry that I could do in a SHTF situation.